Well, hello. I'm the grumpy old redneck. Y'all should probably know that you're on my channel. It's been a while since I did one of the rants. And, well, there's a lot to rant about. Seems like the government and the states are getting desperate. The gun control narrative had basically gone away. Well, all of a sudden, surprise, surprise, now we got 2 shootings back to back. Kind of a weird coincidence that, you ask me. Both of the shooters are dead. Yeah. I know people out there might scream conspiracy theorist. But you tell me. It seems a little convenient. Now, they're trying to say that anything semi-automatic is not covered by the Constitution. Know what that tells me? They're desperate to get this gun control pushed through any way they can, because they're desperate to disarm the American people. Why are they desperate to disarm the American people? Well, let's see. We got presidential election coming up here in a year or so. Kind of makes you wonder what they're afraid of, doesn't it? If they're afraid of Joe and Jill Ordinary having firearms and the ability to defend themselves against tyranny, that should tell you something. That should tell you that they're probably planning tyranny. I have no proof. I have my own theories, and I'm going to keep them basically to myself. I'm not sharing them on here. I've shared them with a few of my friends in person, and that's enough. I have figured out ways that they could mess with the election, that once it's done, unless you catch them literally red-handed in the act, is impossible to prove. They may have done that the last time. I don't know, because as I said, it is impossible to prove, because if what I think they did is what they did, there's no proof to be had. Unless someone comes forward and spills the beans. That being said, they're probably afraid that they're going to try the same thing next time, and we're going to call them on it. The other thing they're afraid of is the several million Americans who still are armed. Quite a few of us are veterans, meaning we have as much training as the young kids today who are still in the military. One thing that they may not be considering is the fact that we have a citizen military. Every member of our military is also a United States citizen. And quite a few of them know that they do not have to follow illegal orders. And won't. So, to the members... pardon me. To those watching who are in the group I'm talking about, just remember this. It's been tried before. Didn't work then. Ain't gonna work now. Britain was the strongest nation in the world next to Spain. It was toss-up which one of them was the most powerful. When we got fed up, we told them to get out. And we enforced it. Twice! Think on that. We didn't have near as many people then. I think Admiral Yamato said it very well when he asked about invading the United States. He said that would be an impossibility because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. Nothing's changed other than a few more people living in cities who haven't got the common sense to pour piss out of a boot. People like an environmentalist I ran into years ago protesting against power stations, saying we should get rid of all of them. When I asked him where he gets electricity from, he looked me dead in the eye with all seriousness, said, from the light switch. I have not seen the intelligence level of these people improving at all. If anything, it's gotten lower. They seem to think that police and the military will forget that they also live here. They're also citizens. And will just blindly follow whatever they say. Newsflash. You're asking them to go against their friends and neighbors. While you might find a few that will do that, there's going to be quite a few more who will not. If you don't like our Constitution, I got one word for you. Leave. There's lots of other countries you can go to. If you don't like our way of life, you don't like the way we're living, get out. Nothing's stopping you. Me personally, I like it here. I like my Constitution. I like my rights. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, not the government. To the best of my knowledge, if you actually read the oath of service that every military member takes, they swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. That's the first part. The most important part. It does not say the government of the United States. It says the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign or domestic. For those of you who got participation trophies and have never cracked open the dictionary, domestic means part of the country, part of the U.S., home, the home nation. They want to label us as terrorists. We're not terrorists. For the most part, we're simple country folk that just want to be left alone. Well, they can't stand that. I don't know why. I don't go in their neighborhood and say, hey, you can't do that. You got to do this. No. So why they got to come into my neighborhood and tell me what I can do? They leave me alone, I leave them alone. Simple to me. People ask if I'm Republican or Democrat. I like to say I'm neither. I'm more of an independent. I've voted both ways. I look more at the candidate himself than what party he represents. I lean more towards the Republican side because they stand more for most of the values that I do. But I don't agree with everything they say. The Democrats do some things that I agree with. But I don't agree with the majority of what they're doing. Especially these days. The ones that are on the far ends, I lump them together. To me, they're the radicals. I don't tell them to shut up because they have every right to speak the same as I do. Doesn't mean I have to listen to them. Anyway, that's my rant. And like everything, I'm sure there will be haters and detractors trying to jump all over it. Well, you know what? You do you, boo-boo. I'll do me. You don't like what I have to say? Don't watch my videos. Simple as that. You know, if you don't like what's on TV, change the channel. We still have that right. You can even turn it off. Maybe, heaven forbid, pick up a book. Turn the electronics off for a while. Pick up a book. Go read. I enjoy reading. I do quite a bit of it. I enjoy reading old literature. I do read quite a bit of that. I own quite a bit of old literature. There's actually a lot of ideas you can pick up and learn from old literature. Things that we have forgotten that we shouldn't have forgotten. So I want to leave you all with that thought. Go pick up a book. Better yet, pick up one of the classics. Read through it. Compare what you read in there to what we have today. Anyway, till next time, y'all be safe.